It was December 12, 1971, at the US Naval Air Station Subic Point in the Philippines. Airman James VanBussum was preparing his C-2 Greyhound plane for a flight to Tan Son Nhut Air Base in Vietnam. Jimmy would likely be carrying cargo for the Vietnam War effort. The pilots and crew had flown to Vietnam countless times that year. Also that morning, Jimmy had just written a letter back to his parents in the States. He also snuck in a copy of the flight schedule for them to see. Usually these flights were just routine, but this was no routine logistical mission, as we're about to find out. In November 2023, I had travelled to Olongapo to see a gentleman called Dennis Opao, who was looking for his long-lost father. My wingwoman wife Leah May was also with me.
In Dennis' case, we need a DNA for him because he don't have any information about his father.
Dennis is not going to be able to find his father. There's no name, no date of birth, no pictures, unless we can get a DNA kit for him.
On that day of meeting Dennis, we had already given away 10 DNA kits, so we went online and asked if anyone could donate a kit for him.
How have you been? How have you been?
Oh, it's okay.
It was now March of 2024, and Dennis was eager to tell me about his childhood growing up in Subic Bay.
Before, when the bases were here, you remember?
Yeah, I remember too. Before.
So your father was probably from the ships?
Yeah.
Or from, what's the other one called? The Subic Point?
Navy. My father is already Navy.
Subic Bay was a huge American naval base.
That is you see that building?
Yes.
That is before hospital.
Up there on the hill?
Yeah.
That's the Subic Bay Naval Hospital.
Yeah.
But now it's hotels.
Yeah. But now it's a hotel now. That is the landing area of airplane. You see that?
Unbeknown to myself and Dennis on how much this would impact our video, we were looking across at Subic Point Naval Air Station. Dennis would come down here and sit on the beach and watch all of the military planes taking off for Vietnam and afar.
What would it mean to you to find out about your father? What would it mean to you? Would you get closure? Is there a hole in your heart not knowing who he is, where from America he comes from? Does he have family in America? Do you think about it?
Already. I knowing if she already have some family, I will accept it.
So you remember what the base used to look like? Is many changed since the Americans pulled out?
Yeah, so many change. No, when military is here, no one's hotel here.
There's no hotels?
Yeah, no hotel.
It's all their military buildings?
Puro, yes, military building. But now, so many here, build some renovation and then become hotel like that.
Dennis told us that his mother had told him his father was from the US Naval Base. And indeed, he looked half Filipino, half American to me. He was 53, and I guess he just wanted closure.
Wala kasi nung kapanahon na yan, may cancer na siya sa matris. Wala naman siya nasabi sa akin, wala nung dahil akong kasama niya nung huli siyang mawala sa. Dahil simula nung ako'y grade 1, bukod sa nag-aaral ako, minsan nagliliban ako sa klase. Tutulungan ko yung nanay ko para lang manguha ng mga kalakal. Dahil sa ganun nga, kahirapan ng buhay namin, yung kinikita kong pera, binibigay ko sa nanay ko para lang meron maibiling pagkain sa mga kapatid ko. Kung i-accept niya ako na bilang anak, kung tatanggapin niya ako bilang anak, na maluwag sa kalooban niya, na alam niya naman nung this time na yun na nagkaroon siya ng karelasyon na babae. Ayun na nga, at ito, sinilang ako sa mundo na ganyan. Kung tatanggapin niya ako bilang anak, pasalamat ako. Kung hindi rin ako tatanggapin, pasalamat pa rin ako. Kasi ngayon ay kailangan maging malakas ako, maging matibay dahil nga sa pamilya ko rin. Madalas naman sumasagi sa isip ko na mga magulang ko. Kahit nga Diyos, palagi kong inaalala na wag ako pabayaan
After the interview down at the bay, Dennis invited us to his house. Inside the room, Leah May explained about how to take the Ancestry DNA test. High up on the hill, I could see across to the old Naval Air Station at Kubi Point.
Did your mother know the father? Did she know who the father was? She didn't know.
She didn't know.
As with all the people that reach out to us, Dennis just wanted to know who he was and where he came from. What did his father look like and where was he now?
Ma'am Vilma, thank you for DNA test. I hope to find my father, and also thanks a lot to Leah and Blair Slog. Thank you so much. God bless.
What's your name? How old are you? What's your name?
Marian.
Despite their struggles, they remained happy.
Bye!
Dennis had a beautiful family, but it was time for us to head home, back to ours. Leah May reassured Dennis that we would do our best to try and find his father. It would just take a couple of months for the DNA results to come back. I was hopeful for Dennis. He deserved a break in life. I wished him well and we were on our way. 2 months later, Dennis's DNA results were back. We were so happy to see the final results on the screen. Amy VanBussum Hardy explained who she was.
So just to kind of, essentially, it's my dad's brother. He was in the Philippines, and then he was also in Japan for a while too. He was in the Navy.
Is he still alive?
No.
Just as I had been so elated, I had fallen down so hard. Amy went on to tell me that her uncle, James Jimmy VanBussum, had served in the US Navy as an airman. And unbelievably, he was based at Kubi Point. Remember that naval air station that Dennis could see from his house? Amy went on to tell me about the tragic story of flight RG-407 that took off from Kubi Point Naval Air Station on the 12th of December 1971, just 1 month before Dennis was born. Upon takeoff, the C-2 Greyhound was cleared to climb to 24,000 feet. Tragically, Jimmy and the rest of the crew did not make it to their initial destination in Vietnam. Amy told me her grandmother, Nina VanBussum, had been trying for years to get Jimmy's name on the Vietnam War Memorial.
So how did it feel when you checked your Ancestry DNA? Were you just casual? Did you get an email? What happened?
Yes, it was an email, and it was pinging. I thought it was my regular email or or my text message. So I looked at my phone and I got kind of emotional, and I read it 4 times. And then I called Amy, and I said, Amy, I said, I got something I got to tell you here. So Amy said, well, I'm going to look up Leah. I said, I've seen Leah and them on YouTube before.
Really?
I look at a lot of YouTube, and I've seen y'all on there before.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Through the years, I've always felt like there was something else. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because he never came back, and I always felt like there was just something else. The whole family did, really. I think everybody did. We had one dilemma. Jimmy's mother is almost 98 years old. She's still alive.
Oh, I didn't know that, sir. Wow.
And she's at a rest home. So I told my brother, I said, I want to start out explaining it slow to her, you know, and she was just emotional. I got a call from the National Security Agency 40 years after Jimmy passed. So it's 2011, and he said he was from National Security Agency. That's the NSA. That's like, you know,
sounds a bit scary.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, he said part of their mission has been declassified. It was all classified because when the Navy people come to our house, they said there was 4 people on board: the pilot, the co-pilot, and Jimmy. Jimmy was a plane captain.
Yes.
His responsibilities were to make sure, you know, that everything was ready to go and they was going to get ready to take off. And then he had a loadmaster guy on. There was 4 of them, and they told us 4 people were on the plane, which was not true.
Myself and Leah May had found ourselves at the centre of a 40-year classified cover-up. The next morning, we were on our way to Olongapo to tell Dennis. This was going to be no easy mission, but now we had Amy VanBussum helping us, and this black belt in Taekwondo was definitely not going to stop in trying to get her uncle's name on the Vietnam War Memorial. Amy was a true blue patriot of the United States flag, and she was deeply protective of her Uncle Jimmy's legacy. To see what information was required, I emailed the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. They replied stating the criteria for listing a name on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial is set forth by the Department of Defense, and adding a name to the wall at this time usually requires an act of Congress. I did notice there was a sentence there about crews flying in from the Philippines.
Final boarding call, Leah May.
We were on our way to catch the ferry to Manila. I wanted to do as much as I could to help get Dennis's father onto the Vietnam War. This was the start of a mammoth project for myself and Amy VanBussum. I had 24 hours on the ferry to do as much homework as I could. The following criteria must be met for a serviceman to be eligible for inscription on the Vietnam Memorial Wall. I learned that the following criteria must be met. Number 4. And at the same time, I was mindful of how I was going to tell Dennis about his father. As I kept searching, Amy would send me useful pieces of information that would help our cause. And yes, there has been names added to the wall, including 53 Marines who were killed when their R&R flight crashed in Hong Kong.
Having woken up at 4:30 this morning, we've driven into Cebu City and we've just boarded the ferry. We now have another 24 hours until we reach Manila.
I was unsure how Dennis was going to take the news about his father.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning!
It's always hard for the two of us to leave the kids behind when we go on these missions. But for our own personal rewards, the feeling that we get when we reunite long-lost loved ones, you cannot explain that feeling. And it's that makes all of this worthwhile.
Lager, YouTube. YouTube pala to.
Hey Joe, I'm a driver of my car, taxi. I'm a driver of my car. Worry. You have ano? Bring my car. Where are you going? Ah, Makati? Asay.
Abred. What do you want? Bicycle?
Hey, one bicycle. Hey, one bicycle.
May sabi sa ha.
Lambo kayo. Ano? Terado eh. Terminal. Hey, man.
I really hate the system. As soon as you go out the port, there is a lot of taxi driver, but they want you to do like Pacquiao, but I don't want Pacquiao. I want meter.
Even though she was scared, I was proud of my wife for never giving in to the taxi drivers who wanted to rip off the foreigner. Finally, we had arrived in Subic Bay. Dennis told us he would be finishing work in a couple of hours, so we decided to visit the old Navy air station at Kubi Point.
So we're up behind Kubi Point airfield, and we've come across these old buildings. We're not too sure the exact age, but possibly this could have been a hangar or some accommodation.
These buildings looked like they hadn't been touched in years.
So Jimmy was here in the 70s, so very possibly he may have been doing some work here, getting the aircraft ready. We'll go further and we'll take a look.
This was a place that time was long forgetting about.
So the jungle's reclaiming its, getting taken back by Mother Nature. But here are some of the hangars from the time from Kubi Point. So we'll go further in, see what else we can find.
This was the only place I'd ever seen wild monkeys in the Philippines.
They are scared of people now.
And they were everywhere, on top of the power lines, beside the road going into the forest, and crossing the road with their babies. As we drove deeper up the hill behind the airfield, we came to Kubi Point accommodation. The only sounds here were the birds above our heads and the treading of the leaves. This place had been left to rack and ruin.
Bloody hell, I thought that was a snake. So we first met you 4 or 5 months ago, and we didn't have a DNA kit for you. And Ma'am Vilma very kindly donated a DNA kit.
Oh, thank you very much for them and to you also.
Thank you, Dennis. We apologise at the time because we didn't have any spare kit. So that's why, guys, it's so important if you can donate a DNA kit for our missions. Last week, we got your DNA back and it came up with a 29% match with somebody.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, this 29% match, Leah May believed would have been your uncle in America. On that same day that the results came back, we received an email from a gentleman called Daniel VanBussum. Daniel VanBussum, VanBussum being a Dutch name from Holland.
Yeah.
But they've obviously moved to America a number of years ago, and this DNA result that came back matched a chap called Daniel VanBussum. And he reached out to us and said, hey, this is a bit of a shock. What is this? So we did a video call with them.
Yeah.
And Dennis, we have found your family. Now, Dennis, I have some unfortunate news for you. Okay, so just take a moment to listen to this.
Okay.
Your father, his name was James. His nickname was Jimmy. Your father passed away in 1971. He passed away 1 month before you were born.
That's why.
So your father passed away.
I will not found my father too.
I'm sorry to give you this information, Dennis. The family have told us that you're probably wondering why we're at Kubi Point today. Your father, Jimmy, was a Navy airman based at Kubi Point.
Here?
Yeah, he was a Navy airman based at Kubi Point. And he was on a mission to take off from Kubi Point to go to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And they were carrying 6 Navy security personnel. And the plane crashed en route to Vietnam. They believed that there was a fire on board,
and the plane crashed into the sea about 1 hour from the Philippines, heading to Vietnam. So the plane crashed on the 12th of December 1971,
Yeah.
just before Christmas, and you were born in
January.
January 1972.
Yeah. January 11, 1972.
Would you like to see a picture of your father?
Oh,
We have a picture.
do you have a picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The family have sent us a picture of your father.
Okay.
So just
May
put
I
on my
see the look?
glasses.
Oh. See, very, my father died, but I will not see. Thanks God to vlogger Leah and Blair to see them. Kahit na picture, just only picture, and thank you.
How does it make you feel to see a picture of the first time of your father?
Yeah, this is my first time.
You look like him.
It look like
So
me.
DNA has proven that 100%, without a doubt, this was your father, and he was an airman,
Yeah.
a Navy airman based at Subic Bay, and this is why we came up here today. This is probably where, in the barracks that we've been looking through, he probably slept in one of these barracks here in 1970, 71.
It looks like me.
First time you've ever seen your father.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And there was so much more to come in this deeply emotional story.
Your uncle and cousins in America, especially your grandmother, is looking forward to see you on a video call and to reconnect to you.
Hey, Dennis, glad to be sending this video to you. My name is Daniel VanBussum, and I'm your dad's brother. And it was really exciting to find out through DNA that we are family. And I just wanted to let you know that everyone in the family is excited about it. And it's really a blessing to know that. And I want to thank Leah and Blair, and this is my daughter Amy. They've been really working close together to get information out that is needed to facilitate it and move it forward to where we can, be talking more here in the future. So, Amy, you got anything to say?
Hi, Dennis. My name is Amy VanBussum Hardy, and this is my dad. And I just wanted to let you know it's so exciting, and we're so happy to have heard that you are a part of our family, and it was a huge surprise, and it's just great, and we're all extremely happy. And I know this is an emotional thing, and it is for you, and it's a lot to take in, and it is for us too. But we are really happy, and we really hope that you feel the same way too. And it's such a blessing to know that you're a part of our family, and we're all very thrilled. And hopefully at some point in the near future, we'll have an opportunity to talk, and we're just really excited. So, but anyways, thank you to whoever donated the DNA kit too, because we're excited and we feel really blessed. And to have another person that is a part of our family is wonderful. So thank you. And Dennis, it's really nice to know you. So,
Okay. Bye-bye.
bye.
Dennis, I'm Jeremy. All this seems like it's happening so fast. I'm excited that you got the opportunity to get a DNA kit. I'm happy for you, and just want to see where this turns out. So.
Hi, Dennis. My name is Brittany. I am your second cousin. Daniel VanBussum is my grandfather, and Daniel is the brother to Jimmy, who also goes by James. So they're brothers. 1 year for Christmas, I got Daniel and Debbie, who are my grandma and grandpa, who would be your aunt and uncle, the Ancestry DNA kit. And I don't know, a year or two later, here we are, and we found out that my grandpa's brother had a son who was born in the Philippines. So we are super excited to discover this information, and we're really excited to be able to connect you with everybody, and we're excited to meet you. So I just hope that you get some closure through these videos and finding out who everybody is, and we'll all get to meet each other in due time.
This proud, reserved father was getting emotional.
Hello, Dennis. This is Uncle Daniel again. I'm here with your grandmother and brother and sister, Sammy and Yvonne. And Yvonne, you want to go on and take it?
Sure. Hi, Dennis. I'm your Aunt Yvonne, your dad's sister, and I just wanted to let you know how happy and excited we all are to hear about you. And we look forward to getting to know you and your family. We have lots of things to share, especially about your dad and the family, and hope to hear from you soon. And until then, know that you and your family are in our thoughts and prayers.
Hey, Dennis. I'm your Uncle Sam, your dad's youngest brother. And it was just great to hear about you. You know, he had a son, and just anxious to learn about you and your family. And hope to talk to you later. Mom?
Hello, Dennis. Who am I?
Your grandmother. Your grandmama.
I'm your grandmother, and I'm looking forward to seeing you real soon.
So.
Okay.
Well, Dennis, everybody's really happy about it, and we were all surprised about it, but we're all glad about it, and we'll be talking to you on media. So have a good day, and thank you again, Leah and Blair, for help getting all this together.
This is what Dennis had been waiting for, love and acceptance from family. Later on, we had a surprise for Dennis.
The video call, we gonna set you with a video call with them tonight, because they're sleeping now in America, but tonight at 7 o'clock, we are set for the video call for the first time. They are really happy and excited to talk to you and see you for the first time in video call.
Okay. Thanks.
Excited?
I'm excited also.
Nervous?
I don't know.
And Dennis wanted to see more of the accommodation.
So we're going to take Dennis into some of the buildings, take a look. You've never been up here?
Yeah, I know it. That looks like.
How old do you think this is? From 70s?
Yeah. When I grow up, the military base is already like that.
There's even like old mattresses here.
Okay.
Let's go through.
Hey Blair and Leah May, this is Amy, and I'm actually visiting the Vietnam Memorial Wall here in Washington, D.C., and I'm on a trip with my family. Had this planned for quite a while, but the timing of this is kind of coincidental, and with everything, you know, that's been going on with our family and finding out about Dennis and having a whole nother cousin that we didn't know was there. But the wall, I've been here several times. It's It's always, you know, it's kind of hard to visit. As of January of this year, there's over 58,000 names on the wall, and it's really great to be able to honor everybody that served during the Vietnam War. It was a difficult war for everybody, and the only thing I wish is that I could come here and see my uncle's name on the wall. But he was with the BRC-50 squadron, and his plane went down on December 12, 1971, and it was him and 3 other crew members and 6 cryptologists. And I guess initially when the wall was built, there was some parameters around, you know, where people died, how they died, and how they included them on the wall. And but anyways, excuse me. But I know in recent years everything has changed, and they put more names and everything on the wall now that meet certain criteria. And I know with everything that's happened, you know, with everything surrounding their mission, although it was classified initially, it's been declassified since, I want to say it was like 2011, after 40 years. And now that everything's come out, it'd be nice to have it looked at again and see if, you know, we could get them added on the wall, because I do think if you look at the DoD definitions and how they classify everything, it should be included. I would love more than anything to come here and be able to touch his name, and especially now that we know about Dennis and we have that new part of our family, it would be really nice to honor him as well, to have his dad on the wall. So I'm hoping that, you know, hopefully we can make some traction with it this time, and they can look at it, and maybe we can actually materialize some kind of result in getting this done this time. All 10 of those guys deserve to be on this wall. They were not doing a routine logistics mission. They were doing combat support. My uncle, along with some others, got a Navy Achievement Medal and some other commendations for combat support. And even though they died 74 minutes away from the actual combat zone in the South China Sea, shouldn't disqualify anybody, and I don't even think that definition matters anymore. So anyways, just kind of wanted to share the wall and a little bit of what it's like trying to be here and look at it, and what I feel for all 58,000 people and everybody else that's on here is absolutely like so grateful, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are here today. It's a beautiful wall. Hopefully we'll have the others added.
Did you see the bird, the crow, on the thumbnail of this video?
When I was young, I see the airplane here is going down and going take off anywhere. That's why I can see anything, everything when I was young. Masaya ang kalooban ko, at ngayon alam ko na kung sino yung tatay ko, kung may pamilya pa ba ako sa Amerika, kung ina-accept nila ko na maging bahagi ng pamilya rin nila sa Amerika. Masaya na ako dun. Ngayon nalaman ko na yun pala yung nangyari sa tatay ko. At least siguro kung nabubuhay siya, hindi niya naman ako siguro napabayaan. Ay, hanggang talagang doon na lang siguro. Kaya kahit anong hanap ko, hanggang tumanda ko, na hindi ko talaga matagpuan yung tatay ko. So makabalong buhay na pala siya. Maraming salamat. Sumagot eh.
So after 6 months of searching for Dennis's father, he finally has closure now. We're at Kubi Point, Subic Bay, in the Philippines, at the end of the runway where Dennis's father's plane took off on that ill-fated mission to Vietnam. And as you heard, Dennis finally has closure. Knowing who his father was a war hero, died in that tragic plane crash that went down into the Philippine Sea en route to Vietnam. Later on in the next hour, in 2 hours from now, Dennis will be speaking to his uncle, his father's brother, and the rest of the family in the States. So let's do that video call.
Let's do it.
And this was the moment that Dennis had been waiting for, the chance to finally speak face to face to his new family in America.
Hi.
Hello, Dennis.
Good to see you. We've been looking forward to it. Yeah, we've been really excited to meet you.
Thank you very much for accept me. Because I don't know about my dad. That's it. And she will die. I don't know what will happen.
Yeah. That's anything you want to know, you ask.
And I could hear in his voice, Daniel VanBussum was so proud to be talking about his brother Jimmy.
Who bought the DNA who bought the kit?
Right here.
Hey!
Oh.
The hero. The hero. If it hadn't been for you, probably none of this would have happened, because maybe Daniel, you wouldn't.
That's absolutely true.
We're really happy to find out about you.
So you've got you've got a great
now
big
you
family.
have a family in the Philippines.
Yes. Ma'am Vilma is the lady. She's a Filipina, but she lives in America, and she's the lady that donated the Ancestry DNA kit to Dennis after watching our video.
We're eternally grateful because, Dennis, you are a blessing to us, and we hope once you have a chance to really let everything soak in and you process everything, we hope you feel the same way. We're just really excited for you, and you're a blessing. Thank you. And thank you to her for donating the kit. This has been really fantastic for us. So.
Nearly 2 hours passed. Dennis was so glad to be showing pictures of his family, his children, to his new relatives back in the States.
Leah and Blair, thank you so much. You all are so amazing, and we can't. Obviously, this wouldn't have been possible without you all, and we are eternally grateful.
Thank you for all the support to this video. Please watch our next video coming up, featuring Amy VanBussum and Chief Petty Officer Chris Patty retired, as we go into great detail on why Jimmy VanBussum and the rest of the crew should be on the Vietnam Wall.